If you thought you'd have to wait 2 years just for the Season 5 of Rick and Morty to air, well, you were wrong. It's coming sooner than we thought. On Tuesday, March the 30th, Adult Swim released the first ever trailer of the 5th season and a glimpse of what we could expect from it. From the previous 4 seasons, we still are going to see Rick being an alcoholic and Morty panicking about everything. But let's dive a bit further into Rick and Morty Season 5 official trailer breakdown plus everything you missed. 80s movie and cartoons references. Watching the trailer for the first time, you probably won't be able to notice everything in there. But once you start paying attention and having a closer look, some things will start to make sense. This trailer shows us that beside the classic duo Rick and Morty, we will see more adventures with the entire Smith family, and even some with mysterious guests. But if you paid really close attention to the trailer, then the few scenes where they make references to 80s movies and cartoons would be really obvious to you. We're able to see a couple of scenes where Rick and Beth are dressed in BDSM gear and are on a different planet trying to save Jerry. Rick has a fish that looks like it's going through his chest and later on uses that fish to slap his Cenobite creature and says a phrase that further references the movie Hellraiser.
Grab those chains. It's time we raise a little hell.
So if their costumes look like they are taken out from a horror movie, is because they actually are. We only assume that this just confirms that at least in one episode, we'll be able to see Rick and Beth in entire BDSM gear fighting off bad guys in order to save Jerry. But that's not the only reference they'll be making. You probably noticed that in the few scenes where we see Rick, Morty, Beth, Summer, and Jerry in full-on Voltron suits, the next thing they are doing a reference of is the 80s cartoon Voltron.
Now the Voltron force can form the robot and defend our planet from the evil Zarkon.
In the scene, we can see the entire family ziplining through tunnels and landing into their futuristic cars. If you get a closer look and notice the colors, you can see that Rick is black, which means he's the pilot. Beth and Summer are red and blue, which are the arms of the mecha-like Voltron, and Morty and Jerry are yellow and green, being the legs of the Voltron. Alien Dog. By now we know that Rick always has some kind of weird creatures chasing him, or trying to kill him. Well, he was the most wanted in the entire intergalactic world. Seeing all sorts of aliens from different universes and timelines doesn't come as a shock for us, so when we saw an alien dog in the trailer, we couldn't help but wonder, why is this alien chasing Rick now?
Cheap insect didn't think I was worth your best equipment.
Man, I told you.
He can do that? He is the smartest man in the universe.
Even though we're not sure where this alien dog is teleporting from, it sure looks like he's from a different planet and is experimenting with a portal, since that is definitely not Rick's portal. This dog man is in a spacesuit filled with green fluid, and it looks like he's trying to teleport into their living room. Since the next scene we see with him is in their kitchen trying to fight Rick, while we don't know for sure what will happen in this episode, we can just say that at that scene, Morty looks like he's been through a lot. In another scene, we see the dog man turn to Morty and start fighting him, while yelling for the future. Since he's a dog, there have been suspicions if he comes from the world where all the dogs went in Season 1. But he does look like a different creature from the rest of them, so we'll just have to wait and see on that. Time crystals. Now, if you've seen the first look of the Season 5 back in July 2020, then you were familiar with the scene where Morty carries Rick, who appears wounded. While he's carrying him, they walk through time crystals where it shows all of their alternate reality versions of themselves. As you know, these crystals were introduced first in Season 1, and they can have a lot of uses when it comes to time manipulation.
Use these to win fights?
I don't use them. People that spend their life avoiding death are already dead. What? Morty, do you have a death crystal in your pocket?
No, maybe.
You little monster, I thought you were masturbating.
From stitching timelines together to all the programs we see on the interdimensional cable and many more uses. If you take a closer look at those crystals, you'll see a bunch of interesting things. The one that Rick comments on shows Rick and Morty as versions of the vampire-killing Marvel hero Blade. Further down, you can notice reality where Rick is a lumberjack and Morty is a tree. And on one crystal that you can even barely see, you can see a version of them based on Roiland's original Doc and Marty pilot episode. If you never saw that, that is the actual pilot for the Rick and Morty series that they show to Adult Swim to convince them to buy the series. Mr. Nimbus. After the entire scene of Morty carrying wounded Rick through a field of time crystals, they manage to get into the car and fly off. In the first teaser trailer that was released in Comic-Con, you can see them barely making it alive, and in the process, their car goes through a failure. So Morty decides to confess his love to Jessica, thinking he's about to die.
Hey
Jessica, it's Morty from school.
Oh, hey, Morty. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I guess I just...
No, I just wish you said it sooner.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you never really said anything to me.
Lucky for them, they end up alive and in the ocean, but on the other side, this might not be the best thing that could have happened. This is where we are introduced to Mr. Nimbus, Rick's nemesis. In the trailer, we do get to see a few scenes with him, and since he's on Earth, we assume that because Rick broke his promise and landed in the ocean, now Mr. Nimbus is doing what he wants and decides to go on Earth. In the scene where he first appears, Jerry ends up making a few jokes about his appearance, and the next thing we see is him and Rick fighting in Rick's lab.
Police, a strange, horny ocean man is on my lawn.
While Summer is holding something that could help Rick end this. We'll see how far Rick and Mr. Nimbus will take things, but if you pay close attention to Rick's appearance in the fight scene, you can see that his pants are ripped off, he's not wearing a shirt, and he's cut all over the body. In the scene where Rick, Morty, and Jessica are in the cyberpunk Transformers scene, but you can notice that Rick has the same cuts and ripped pants from his fight scene with Mr. Nimbus. So we can't help but wonder how all of this is connected. And will we see Mr. Nimbus in more than one episode? Let us know what you think about this in the comment section below. Release date. As many of us are super excited for the new thrilling adventures to start, we do have to wait a little bit more. The new Season 5 of Rick and Morty is set to air on June the 20th, 2021. The kickoff of the season also promises Rick and Morty Day, where we'll be able to see sneak peeks, behind-the-scenes footage, and special surprises. Now, unlike the previous seasons, where we had 5 episodes announced and then 5 more, in this trailer we have no indication that after 5 episodes, there will be a break, so we might be looking at 10 episodes of Rick and Morty without any breaks. Even though it was too quiet for the Rick and Morty community,
It's obviously quiet if it's too quiet.
Yeah, but you're supposed to say...
You know what, Summer? Now it's not quiet enough.
since July 2020, with the release of this trailer, viewers can finally have the exact date and still have time to binge watch the 4 seasons before the release of the 5th one. It promises whole new exciting adventures and timelines that weren't shown before, as well as a Summer and Morty adventure and a Rick and Beth one as well. And maybe we'll see more bonding between Rick and Jerry in this season compared to the last 4, but from that one scene in the trailer where he actually locks him out while a giant ant is destroying the city, it doesn't seem like Rick has changed that much when it comes to his bond with Jerry. But hey, anything is possible in the Rick and Morty world. On a related note, we wanted to know how many of these details did you manage to notice in the trailer? Let us know in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more amazing videos such as this one, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.